Hello, welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks. I'm Ranch. Today I'll be giving you the Capper Comparison Picks for the early prelim fights for UFC London 2. Last week, because I have so many fights to go over, I'm not going to go over the card, but I did go 8-4 for UFC Long Island. I could sit there and explain a full breakdown recap of every fight, but nobody wants to hear that crap, right? I'll tell you which ones I got wrong. Dwight Grant, picked that one wrong. Dawoon Jung, I know he shit in a lot of parlays, messed up a bunch of parlays. Misha Tate, which originally I was on the side of Lauren Murphy, but I flipped my pick mistakenly. And finally, Ortega with the shoulder injury. It's kind of fluky. Man, that was the one that really sucked my dreams out of winning big cash money. But overall, at the end of the night, I did come out plus money. I did come out had a little bit because I do round robins, and I got, I went 8-4, so my round robins did pay out a little bit more than I invested. So I don't know how many units. I don't keep track of that shit. But stop. I'm not going to dwell on that. Let's move on to this week. We have a very interesting card, kind of chalky for the most part, aside from like this fight. This show is pretty chalky. As you can see, we got some pretty wide lines here, but it is what it is. I'm still going to go through the breakdown. I didn't write all this information, do all my research for nothing, right, guys? So without further ado, let's get into this. Starting out this show, we're going to start with the lightweight fight between Mr. Highlight, Ludovit Klein, 18-4. He is a decent sized underdog, plus 285 against Mason Jones, the hometown favorite. Of course, they're fighting in London. Jones is, from the United Kingdom, so I think he's Welsh too, actually. But so let's break this down. Mason Jones has only taken one loss. That was in his UFC debut against Mike Davis by unanimous decision. Where's Mike Davis now? What's going on with him, I wonder? But since then, he's rebounded pretty well. He has a no contest actually against Alan Patrick. I think there was an eye poke involved in that. Accidental eye poke. I think it was from Mason Jones, and then Alan Patrick exaggerated it and claimed, he couldn't fight anymore, so whatever. But most recently, he beat David Onama. But David Onama did come in. He jumped up a weight class and came in on like short notice, days notice. Mason Jones is David Onama's one and only loss in his career, and David Onama coming off a nice win 2 weeks ago, was it? Against that Garrett Armfield. But anyway, Mason Jones, the Dragon. Before that, he was a Cage Warrior double weight class champion. Double champ. And he fights out of the Combat Sports Academy. These guys have the same reach. Mason Jones does have a 3-inch height advantage. Aside from the Combat Sports Academy, when he does come stateside, he does throw in a little bit of training over Alpha Male. I thought I'd add that too because I did check out his Instagram. Most recently, though, he has been at Combat Sports Academy. So, his opponent, Ludovit Klein, 27 years old. Both these guys 27. Ludovit Klein, the Slovakian, is coming in off of a win himself against Devontae Smith, where he won a split decision victory there. Before that, he took back-to-back losses. He lost to Nate the Train Landwehr by Anaconda round 3. And before that, he lost to New Jersey's own Mike Trezano by unanimous decision. He ended up beating City Kickboxing's Shane Young out of New Zealand. He beat him That was his UFC debut. Put him on the map actually a little bit. He beat Shane Young by TKO round 1. Good victory there. Before that, he was in Octagon with a K, Oktagon. Octagon Fighting Promotion. I think that's out of Slovakia where he's from. And he beat some guy, Lucas Sajewski or something. TKO round 1, where Ludovit Klein was a Octagon champion, I do believe, a lightweight champion. He's fighting out of the Spartacus Fight Club and the Kohler Wrestling Foundation or something like that. He's coming in somewhat short notice, but not really. He's been gearing up for a fight. He was supposed to fight Ignacio Bahamondes in an event like a week or two, I don't know, a couple events back, but there was like visa problems with Bahamondes, so he stayed training, and Mason Jones was looking for a fight here, and Ludovit Klein stepped up and said, I'll fight you. So there we have that. The line, ridiculously large. Plus 285 on Ludovit Klein, Mr. Highlight. And minus 345 for Mason Jones. Let's see what the cappers have to say in this lightweight showdown. Starting with the favorite, of course, I always start with the favorite. I got these lines off of Bet Online right before I started making this video. They didn't have the totals over-unders out yet, so I'm sure you can find them on like Best Bet Odds or some bookie has them, but Bet Online, which I predominantly use, did not. So, taking Mason Jones, we've got Greedo from Greedo Plays. By the way, all these cappers all these cappers links will be in the description. I urge you to check them all out. Greedo's taking Mason Jones by decision. Then we've got the Stat Diggers, that's DFS Brady and Uncle Weezy, both in agreement that Mason Jones should be the better fighter here and get the victory. We got Cody from Blood Money. Cody had a pretty bad week in weekend with his predictions. You know, I'm in a Instagram multi-capper chat, and from what I can tell, it looked like Blood Money didn't fare well. A lot of guys didn't. Actually, a lot of guys had a bad week this week. I went 8-4. It was actually one of kind of not that bad of a week for me. Then we got a new guy. I've never used him before, but I found him through Blood Money and Johnny K. Pick have a Wednesday night live stream. I saw him in the chat, and then as I was redoing my research, and his breakdown video popped up in my my list of videos that they think I recommended videos, and we've got a new capper, and I like them. It's actually two guys, and I don't know neither of their names, but thankfully they agreed on every one of these fights, so I'll just put their link in. Maybe I didn't watch minute from the very beginning to the very end. I didn't watch all of it. I listened to it in the car, so if they did mention their names, I didn't catch it. But I noticed a lot of times they call each other dude, guy, bro. I don't know. It's weird. No names, but their channel is Broke Bets. And they think Jones will get the decision here for Broke Bets. New guys. I like them. Subscribe to them. And finally, to finish this off, we have Vlad, the Bulgarian Cowboy, my daughter Nora's favorite handicapper from UFC Celebrities and Classics. He is also on the side of Mason Jones, but he does think this is going to be a lot closer than the line suggests, and I agree with him there. But this is a full capper consensus. And a full capper consensus is when, hey, there you are.
Cappers pick one side of the whiteboard.
When all the handicappers pick one side of the whiteboard. That's right. Thank you, Nora. I appreciate you coming in off your little afternoon nap or whatever. What were you doing? Napping? Full capital consensus when all the handicappers pick one side of the whiteboard, but at minus 345, it's kind of expected. It'd be a real contrarian pick if you were to take Ludovit Klein. But here's some good luck pearls for those of you that are taking Ludovit Klein. Good luck to you. But yeah, full capital consensus, and I can't really go against it. I'm gonna maybe hedge out a little, like a throw, because this is no longer the curtain jerker. It's moved up the card. I think it's like it's in the upper prelims, not the early prelims now. I think it's moved up to like maybe 5th fight on the card or something like that. 5th or 6th fight on the card. But anyway, I'm gonna also go with Mason Jones. I just think his striking is much better. Ludovit Klein, I think. Really, Brandon? Ludovit Klein, I think if he does have a path to victory, it might be through his wrestling. If his Instagram is correct, he has been training at Kohler Wrestling, which is like a straight up wrestling facility, and no shade on the Brits, but they're not known for their wrestling. The European wrestling doesn't really get good until you go, East European, and like England doesn't even put anybody in the Olympics for wrestling. They don't even compete so there's predominantly strikers, but Mason Jones does have some skills on the ground. However, I think Ludovit Klein will be the better fighter on the ground, and that's why I'm going to hedge at plus money, plus 285. I got to throw a little sprinkle on there. But my pick for Tapology will be Mason Jones, and I think he'll edge out a decision over Ludovit Klein by his much technical striker, a lot more volume, and he's going to plan it on him. I just don't think he's going to, I don't think he's going to submit. I'm sure he's not going to submit Ludovit Klein, like I said. If it does go to the ground, I think Klein might have a shot. So there you have that. Moving on. Next we have Danish Dynamite, Nicolas Dalby. Nicolas Dalby, I've seen him win so many, I hate to use the word robbery, but I've seen him win more than one robbery decision, in my opinion. And he's taken on Claudio Silva. Claudio Silva's 14-3, 2-1 underdog, plus 207. Nicolas Dalby, 19-4-1, minus 242 favorite. These guys are both older, 37 for Dalby. Silva is 39. But you can still fight up in your late 30s as a welterweight. It's not like they're flyweight, bantamweights where you still need that youth and speed. Nicolas Dalby, start with the favorite. He trains out of Copenhagen, out of a place called Rumble Sports. He is a BJJ brown belt, so he does know how to mess around on the ground. Claudio Silva, though, BJJ black belt, training out of American Top Team, ATT. Nicolas Dalby is coming off actually a loss to Dirty Bird, Tim Means, by unanimous decision. Before that, he beat Daniel Rodriguez, unanimous decision. That's one of those ones, I don't know if I agree with that decision. Before that, he had a no contest. It says to Jesse Ronson, it says rear naked choke, round 1, but I think Jesse Ronson was on some performance enhancing drugs, if I'm correct. I forget what caused the no contest, but I think it was that. It wasn't like a marijuana thing. I think it was legit like steroids. Before that, he beat Cowboy Alex Oliveira, unanimous decision. That was his UFC debut. And prior to that, he had a no contest against Ross Houston. Now, Uncle Weezy says if you watch that fight from if you have Fight Pass or something, if you can find that Ross Houston Nicolas Dalby fight that was in Cage Warriors, where Nicolas Dalby was a welterweight champion, I do believe. I guess that was like the bloodiest fight in mixed martial arts history. That's what Uncle Weezy said. He said it was like a slip and slide, the mat. There's so much blood on that mat, it's like just blood everywhere. I didn't watch it, but I'm kind of curious. I might just check it out just for the blood. But Claudio Silva, Nicolas Dalby, same height, but Dalby will have a 3.5-inch reach advantage over Claudio Hannibal Silva. Let's talk about Hannibal Silva. You know, the recency bias is strong, though. That's why I think he's such a 2-to-1 underdog. He most recently he lost to Court McGee. Court McGee just manhandled him, just dominated every round of that fight. I think probably should have been 30-27 across the board there. Before that, he lost to James Krause. James Krause, a better coach than he is a fighter, but still, you know, good fighter. Before that, though, he does have a win over Cole Williams, round 1 neck crank. Prior to that, he beat Danny Roberts, armbar, round 3. And before that, he had a rear naked choke against Nordine Taleb. So the guy, Claudio Silva, he has some good victories in his past, but I think he's been on a downward slide. Now and in 39, I don't see him progressing. Nicolas Dalby, I think, does have, I hate to admit it, but he does have the better cardio, better stand-up. Once again, Claudio Silva, I think his only path would be on the ground. But Nicolas Dalby, BJJ brown belt, and he is for being a European grappler, he's pretty darn good. Claudio Silva is on Instagram training out of American Top Team. He has his coach Anderson Franca with him posing in pictures, so he is putting it in over there. Interesting fight here. Let's see what the cappers have to say, right? Winston, you're right in the way, buddy. Old dog. The old dog. So, taking Nicolas Dalby, the minus 242 favorite, we've got UFC Celebrities and Classics, Vlad. His main bet is the fight to start round 3. Over-under is set at 2.5. You think it's going over 2.5 rounds, minus 135. If you think it's going under 2.5, you get plus 105. So the bookies do think it's probably going to go to a decision, leaning that way. Also taking Dalby, we've got the new guys, broke bets. And they are saying TKO. Specifically round 2, but I'll just write TKO. Cody, Blood Money, is saying Dalby by decision. DFS by the numbers and Uncle Weezy, the stat diggers. Remember, check out that fight between Dalby and, what's the guy's name? Ross Houston. It's a Cage Warriors fight. Check it out. I guess it's supposed to be really bloody. But the stat diggers are both on the side of Nicolas Dalby. Then we've got, finally, Greedo from Greedo Plays also saying Dalby by decision, making this yet another full capper consensus. You don't have to come again, Nora. Don't worry about it. So, I have no reason to not go with the cappers here. So I don't like doing these real chalky lines. What am I covering? Bellator? Come on, let's get some close fights, would we? But Nicolas Dalby should win this. I'm not even going to hedge out Silva. As I mentioned, I think Silva's kind of been on a slight decline. And I would imagine, though, his back is probably against the wall, being 39 years old. He's only got 3 losses, though. That's, I mean, still slugger's chance, wrestler's chance, grappler's chance. But I'm going to take Dalby, and I think he's going to get it done by decision. the European judges love Nicolas Dalby for sure. So there you have that. Moving on. Now it figures it has to be a female fight that's going to be the close odds. We've got Mandy Boehm, the German, nicknamed Monster, just like Kyle Nelson, same nickname. Monster Mandy Boehm taking on Fury Victoria Leonardo. It's actually Victoria Leonardo Mason. She did get married to a guy. I think his name is Brent Mason. He is not a fighter. I don't think he has anything to do with fighting or anything. I think he's just a regular guy. I don't know. I searched him, but all I saw was like a mention of him, Brent Mason. But Victoria Leonardo Mason is a slight underdog at plus 105. She's 8-4. Mandy Boehm, only one loss as a professional, 7-1. She's a slight favorite, minus 125. Both these women are same age, they're both 32. Mandy Boehm, stat diggers like to call her Mandy Bum, which I think is hilarious. But Mandy Bum is coming off her UFC debut, unanimous decision loss to the Queen of Violence, Ariana Lipski. Ariana Lipski she has not been impressive as of lately. I think her best days were in KSW, but she did manage to get a victory over Mandy Boehm, so that's good. Before that, she beat Greet Eckhart in Bellator by unanimous decision. And before that, it's just a bunch of other people I've never even heard of, so I didn't even bother writing the names down. She does have a pretty sizable 6-inch reach advantage over Leonardo and a 1-inch height advantage. Also, she was training out of SPG Ireland, but as of recently, according to Instagram, she's over at Extreme Couture with Coach Eric Nixick. Very good move for Mandy Boehm there. You wanted that, Eric Nixick he's like 2021 Coach of the Year, I do believe. Or maybe it's 2020. I know he does have a Coach of the Year trophy or accolades there. But Victoria Leonardo Mason, her opponent, the underdog, she's coming off back-to-back losses, but listen to the losses she's took. Most recently, she lost to Melissa Gatto, who I think is probably the most attractive female fighter right now. Just my personal opinion. Melissa Gatto broke her arm, so she lost that sucker. Before that, she got fed to Manon Fiorot. Manon Fiorot, future contender. She's a contender now, not future. A present contender, possibly future champion. That's how good Manon Fiorot is. Expected to lose. Manon Fiorot took her out TKO round 2, and that was her UFC debut. What a debut. Man, it is served up to the beast, Manon Fiorot. Before that, she was in the Contender Series where she beat Chelsea Hackett, ground and pound round 2, and that ground and pound was furious. It was impressive, Victoria Leonardo. It was impressive. And prior to that, she was in Invicta where she beat Liz Tracy. Prior to beating Liz Tracy, she did take a loss to who? Cold-blooded Erin Blanchfield. Erin Blanchfield, another contender, possibly future champion. Oh, it's a very interesting women's MMA is a very interesting field right now with people like Erin Blanchfield, Manon Fiorot, all these girls that Victoria Leonardo faced and got beat by, but whatever. She also, if you look back in her past, she did lose to Miranda Maverick as well, but that was way back. But notable, her 4 losses, Miranda Maverick, Erin Blanchfield, Melissa Gatto, and Manon Fiorot, all 4 of them girls would beat the snot out of Mandy Boehm. I'm just saying. Victoria Leonardo trains out of Elite Combat Academy. You know where that is? Louisiana. You know who she exclusively trains with? Andrea KGB Lee. Day in, day out. Buddy. It's on Instagram. They're all every day. You can see, what's his name? beady eyes Kelly in the background on a couple of them. But yeah, training with Andrea KGB Lee is very good for any up-and-comer female fighter. So let's see what the cappers have to say in this very close, low-level female. I don't want to say low-level. I mean, Mandy Boehm's only got one loss, but it was her only UFC fight too. And before that, she beat bums. Mandy Boehm beat bums. Victoria Leonardo, same. No, Victoria Leonardo, much better strength of schedule. However, they are losses, but she faced him with let's see, well, Aaron Blanchfield head kick beat her. Amanda Ferro TKO'd her in round 2, and Melissa Gatto broke her arm. Miranda Maverick, she fought her twice actually, and she lost both times. One was an exhibition though. It's not. That's why it's not included. But I don't know. Let's see what the cappers have to say in this fight between Mandy Boehm and Victoria Leonardo. Mason, congratulations on your recent marriage. Okay. Shaking the favorite in Mandy Boehm, we've got Cody, Blood Money. And he is saying by decision. Then we have Greedo, also saying by decision. Broke Bets. Hey, Broke Bets, if you're watching, can you put your names in the comments? I'm really interested. I don't want to keep calling you Guy and Dude. Well, Guy and Dude. Dude speaks. Guy is the one that has his Tapology, so you can see what he's picking. I'm just saying. But they have been in agreement in the show, in the breakdowns I watched so far. I don't think like I said, I listened to it on my ride into work, so I couldn't mess around. Anyway, also taking Mandy Boehm, we have UFC Celebrities and Classics. Vlad, his original pick is fight to start round 3. Well, yeah, Vlad, the over 2.5 is -225, so fight to start round 3 is probably like -400. I would think it's gonna start round 3. I would imagine. So, And finally, we have the Stat Diggers, and they are contrarian pickers. They're not making this a full capper comparison. Stat Diggers, Uncle Weezy, and DFS Brady are both on the side of Victoria Leonardo for pretty much the reasons I said. Mandy Boehm has not beat anybody with a name. She's beat a bunch of bums over in Germany. She beat one girl in Bellator, and she lost her only fight to a lackluster Ariana Lipsky, who I said Ariana Lipsky's best days are back at KSW. She's been on like a 3-fight losing skid, if I'm correct. So, and I used to like Ariana Lipsky. I thought, beautiful girl. But anyway, 7-1. Don't let that fool you. Check out her Tapology. The people she's beat, they could be, I don't know, they're just not, hasn't shown me anything. Leonardo, those 4 losses, all 4 of them losses are known names in the rankings, top 15 of the female flyweight division in the UFC. So no, and plus I like that Leonardo's training every day with Andrea KGB Lee. I like that. Mandy Boehm, though, good move going to Extreme Couture. So that's a good move there, but still, I'm going to go with the plus money underdog here. I'm going to take Victoria Leonardo. I bet you this is going to be coin flip odds by the time fight time comes, because the sharps, the cappers, and the bookies are going to realize Mandy Boehm isn't all that. Leonardo, I know it's not looking good as of recently. Broken arm, knocked out, but she has some highlights over in Invicta. her Contender Series win. That was great. I'm gonna go with Leonardo here. I don't want to. It's a female fight, so I'm gonna say by decision. I kind of want to say inside the distance, but I'm not going to. It's a female fight. At flyweight, it's not like they put each other away, and Leonardo's not known for submitting people, you know. Her win, well, she does have a grounded pound, but still, we'll keep it at that. And finally, moving on, we've got Black Country Banger, Jai Herbert, hometown guy, taking on Kyle Nelson, the Canadian monster. Kyle Nelson, Mandy, Boehm, same nickname, Monster. The Monster and Monster, whatever. But anyway, Jai Herbert is a minus 280 favorite. Another chalky line here. Kyle Nelson plus 240 underdog. Both of these guys have 4 losses on their professional record. Herbert's got 11 wins. Nelson's got 13. Most recently, though, Jai Herbert, we're going to talk about him because he's the favorite. Most recently, he's been looking not bad, even though he comes off a loss. That loss was to Ilia Topuria, and he was a huge underdog. Topuria was a big favorite. Topuria did, by all rights, did knock him out in round 2, but Jai Herbert had a phenomenal first round, and actually, I think he wobbled him or maybe knocked him down once in the first round too, which was put me in shock a little bit. But he got knocked out in round 2 by Ilia Topuria. That's most recently. Before that, he beat Kama Worthy TKO round 1. Very good there. Prior to that, he took 2 losses right in a row. Hanato Moicano rear naked choked him in round 2, and Francisco Trinaldo, that was his UFC debut for Jai Herbert. He got knocked out in round 3. Before that, he was a Cage Warriors champion at lightweight, where he beat Kane Carrizosa, punches round 1. He trains out of Team Renegade. He trains with another Cage Warrior fighter named O'Meal Brown, and also Aiden Lee, and Arnold Allen too. All Team Renegade guys over in England. So Jai Herbert also with a 2-inch height and 6-inch reach advantage over Kyle Nelson. Let's talk about Kyle Nelson a little bit. The Canadian, the monster. Kyle Nelson coming off a loss to Billy Quarantillo. Billy Q beat him KO round 3. Before that, he did Kyle Nelson beat Polo Reyes TKO round 1. That's all right. Then he took 2 losses. He lost to Matt Sales. Matt Sales got him in an arm triangle round 3. And his UFC debut, he lost to Diego Ferreira, where Diego beat him ground and pound round 2. And Diego did Diego's not even like a striker, but outstruck the guy. Diego Ferreira is more of like he's well-rounded, but he's more like his ground game is the hot thing. Before that, he was in a Romanian promotional league called RXF, where I think he was a champ, but I'm not 100% sure on that. His last fight wasn't for a belt, but I think if you go down further in Kyle Nelson's career, I don't know. I know he was over there in Romania. Nick Negumerianu was headlining that card he was on over in RXF. But he beat some guy by punches round 1 named Monteza Razori or something like that. He trains out of Niagara Top Team with, he's got a phenomenal coach named Crew Allen, K-R-U-A-L-I-N, Crew Allen, and Mike Malott. You might know Mike Malott, one of the coaches over at Alpha Male. Also been putting in work with Kyle Nelson for this camp. Mike Malott, a pretty decent fighter / trainer as well. American top or Niagara Top Team, pretty decent school, but Jai Herbert, Team Renegade, I think has a little edge when it comes to facilities. But nonetheless, let's see what the cappers have to say in this lightweight fight. We've got taking Jai Herbert. We've got broke bets. Dude is taking Jai Herbert by KO. So I think he said round 1, but I would just write KO right there for broke bets. We've got Cody, Blood Money, also saying KO, round 1. We'll say round 1 here too. Round one. Seeing a little trend already, right? Stat Diggers. I listened to it. I definitely know Brady from DFS did say by knockout. I don't know if like Uncle Weezy came straight out and said a pick, but he is on the side of Jai Herbert, but I don't recall if he said knockout or anything. Then we've got Greedo also taking Herbert by knockout, round 1. See how the recency, because he knocked down Ilia Topuria, who is phenomenal, possibly future champ, Ilia Topuria, undefeated. That's why knockout round 1, knockout round 1, knockout round 1. You see the trend there? But we do have a contrarian. My boy, my man, UFC celebrities and classics. Vlad is leading Nelson. He thinks it's going to be close. He's giving the edge to Nelson, but his original pick is fight does not go the distance. Is going to be his bet, and over is minus 120, under is minus 110. So here, finally not too chalky, Vlad. The fight does not go distance is not going to be as chalky as usual for you. But he is leaning, if he has to pick a side, he's going to go with Kyle Nelson, the monster Kyle Nelson here. I'm going to go with the Black Country Banger for the same reasons that these guys are, because of his last fight against Ilia Topuria. He really impressed me in that loss, because he shocked me. He was a huge underdog, and he shocked a lot of people by getting that knockout, or he wobbled them or rocked them, or he did something to garner the favoritism for first round. He's a beast first round, but then come round 2, Ilia Topuria turned that switch, put it on him, and took care of business round 2. But I think I'm gonna go with the trend. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5 cappers in the show are all taking them by knockout round 1. So when in London, do as the British do, go with that. So I'm gonna say Jai Herbert by knockout round 1. So to recap, thank you. Time check. Let's see, how am I doing on time? And oh, perfect. To recap, I've got Mason Jones winning by decision over Ludovit Klein, but I will hedge Klein because I think Ludovit Klein does have that plus 285 is very nice for Ludovit Klein. That's disgusting. That minus 345 is disgusting. This should be much closer. But I'm going to go with the capper consensus. I'm going to go with Jones on Tapology, but I will put a small, $10, $20 sprinkle on Klein. And then I've got Nicolas Dalby with the other full capper consensus, beating Silva. I think he's going to beat him by decision. Silva, like I mentioned, I think he's on the decline. That's why I'm kind of fading him. But don't get me wrong, I'm not a big fan of Nicolas Dalby. I do remember I think he does I remember specifically one who was against, I think Daniel Rodriguez. I think that one was kind of a robbery. I think that it was in Copenhagen too, if I do believe it was right at home. Or maybe that was against, I don't know. He had like a home fight over in Copenhagen where he won a unanimous decision, and it shouldn't have been. It should have. I think it was kind of a gift for him. And then I have my only underdog pick on the card, happens to be female flyweight fight, which is not the best. Both these low level girls. I've got Victoria Leonardo Mason Fury, because her experience fighting legitimate contenders and training with legitimate Andrea Lee, to beat Mandy Boehm, who's only had one legitimate fight in which she lost to Ariana Lipski. I think Leonardo, all four of the girls that beat Leonardo could also beat Ariana Lipski. So Boehm has just not, I think, yeah, I'm gonna go with Leonardo there, the underdog. I think Leonardo should be the favorite, actually. And finally, I'm taking the Black Country Banger, Jai Herbert, to get a knockout in round one over Kyle Nelson. Kyle Nelson, I mean, I guess he is live. He's been Niagara top team. He's been putting it in with Mike Malott and that crew, Aline. But I'm going to have to go with Jai Herbert. He's home team, Nicolas Dalby, Copenhagen, home team. This one, Germany and Louisiana. I guess Mandy Boehm was going to have more supporters, being that it's in Europe and Germany, you know. But anyway, there you have it. Gather the info, place those bets, and cash those tickets. I appreciate you watching. Go ahead and fill underneath down there with all your comments on who's going to win these fights, especially if you're taking an underdog. I like to hear your side of things. I like to hear the contrarian point of view, the adversaries, the devil's advocates, if you will. I like to hear that, hear the other side of the story. But I mean, real chalky odds here. So thanks for watching. Give me that thumbs up, get that like, and stay tuned. Tomorrow I should be giving you the remaining 4 more prelim fights from my hotel room in Bangor, Maine. Not looking forward to the drive there, but thanks for watching. Good luck on your bets, and I'll see you next time.